All right, good morning, trade pros. Welcome to our morning market update for Monday, June the 18th of 2020. The market, in fact, it already has. On this morning's market update, we're going to talk about a few things, why equities are on their fire to start the week, um, this upcoming OPEC meeting in Vienna, and what are some of the latest developments around it. And last but not least, why the central bank of central banks think cryptocurrencies are worthless. And I mean, that's a strong opinion. I'm going to give you their background. I'm going to add a few of my own sentences. I don't quite think that's true. However, they do have a point as well. So we're going to analyze all of that. Let's get started by taking a little trip around the world. Get your passports out. We're going to put a few more stamps in your back pages. First country we're traveling to is Japan, down 0.8%. May not want to spend too much time there. Markets are down almost one entire percentage point, and that's the leader on the downside in the Asian session. Hong Kong's down 0.4%, China's down 0.7%, and India is down 0.2%. So a sea of red in Asia, and we're going to talk about why that is in a moment. In Europe at midday, London's down 0.4%, Paris is down 1.2 whole percentage points, Frankfurt's down 1.4 and leads the way in the weakness in the European markets. Angela Merkel's leadership is coming into question here and under fire. And Donald Trump tweeted this morning saying the migration issues in Germany has caused a lot of trouble and violence in Germany, and he doesn't want the same happening in the U.S. So there's a little bit of political tension there in Germany, and Angela Merkel's days seem like they may be numbered as leader of Germany. In the United States, Dow Jones is down 0.7%. S&P's down 0.6%, and Nasdaq's down 0.7% as well. In our market analysis live webinar on Sunday, we talked about this week being bearish, and we said we've had a nice run. However, it's been on weak volume, and there's a lot more opportunity to the downside. There's a lot of risks that are being underpriced in the economy, and especially a hawkish Fed last week with raising interest rates. It's going to put some downside pressure. So be on the lookout for the bearish side this week. We do think we're going to get a continuation to the downside throughout stock markets and equities. Looking at crude oil, it's down a whole percentage point, 64.46. What's the last price? 65.24. So pretty nice rally off of these overnight lows. 65.21 was the pit session open. So we've recovered and regained some of the losses, and we'll talk to you about why that is also in a moment. Gold prices are up 0.4 percentage point, and Bitcoin is down 0.1 of a percentage point, hovering around the mid 6,000s still. All right. Today's economic calendar at 10 a.m. we have the NAHB, just kidding, the NAHB Housing Market Index. I think NAHB sounds better. It sounds beautiful. Beautiful name. 1 p.m. we have Fed's Bostic speaking. So we have some Federal Reserve speakers coming on the wire this week. And tomorrow is going to be a flurry of them. Was it tomorrow, Vic, or Wednesday? We have like 3,000 people speaking at 9:30. Wednesday morning at 9:30, we got Bank of Japan, Mario Draghi's speaking, and Jay Powell all at the same time. I think they're at a conference together, actually, and they're going to make some speeches and statements. So expect some volatility around currency markets based on the central banking speak. All right, let's talk about our three topics. Equities are down this morning following Beijing's response. So China responded to the United States 50 billion tariffs. It's tariffs on $50 billion worth of goods, not $50 billion worth of tariffs. And China said, they come back and they say, you know what, we got the same. We'll match your 50. So they've pretty much responded to the tariff talk from the United States. Donald Trump on Friday made it official, Friday morning before the market opened. It was all talk until then. Now he actually applied these tariffs, so the goods are being tariffed on the import. And China did the same. They said, all right, we're going to sanction 50 billion of yours as well, and we're going to put tariffs on those goods. However, if you're looking at a trade war, the United States is a net importer of Chinese goods. So therefore, they're going to obviously, if they go tit for tat, they're going to have more goods to sanction. China is eventually going to run out of things to put tariffs on. However, what they could do is just raise the yuan, all right, or devalue their currency, actually, is what they would do. They would devalue the currency. That's another course of action. They could start selling U.S. treasuries, which is a really extreme course of action. And that could, if China starts selling treasuries, and Saudi Arabia, for some reason, decides to as well. If China alone starts selling treasuries in the United States market, watch out. That's going to cause, it's a recessionary bound kind of talk. It's very severe if they do that. They probably won't. We're not going to get to that point. All right, so that's scaring the market. China does not want. Here's what the in the state media, this is what they said. The exact sentence: China does not want trade war, but facing a capricious Washington, China has no choice but to fight back vigorously in defense of its national interests. The trend of globalization, the world's multilateral trading system. When it comes to defending national interests, China means business. That's a pretty strong response. Look out for those developments throughout the week. I think trade war is going to be at the top of what's causing tension in the marketplace. Let's talk about OPEC, because OPEC's got a historic meeting this Friday coming up. OPEC and non-OPEC members have agreed to a production output freeze. So they've said we're not going to produce anymore. We're going to keep production flat. That was supposed to run till December of 2018, but oil prices have skyrocketed and they've sold off as well. But that's in anticipation of them announcing some kind of production output increase. Even if it's not removing the deal, they're going to output more, which is going to have more supply, lower price as a result. The squawk number or the rumor number behind the scenes was 1.5 million barrels per day increase of quotas. Now they've sort of backpedaled that and said, oh, well, how about we just do 500,000? And the markets responded favorably to that. They're saying, we were supposed to have 1.5 million barrels increase. Now we're looking at 500,000. That's not as bad as initially thought. So the market's rebounding slightly. However, it's not the number of barrels that counts. It's the intent that they're going to raise the output early. That means they're not really committed to this agreement in its entirety. They want to revise it. This is going to obviously create pressure, and it's going to create a lot of rumblings within OPEC nations. In fact, check this out. This is what Iran said. We as Iran, and I hear Iraq and Venezuela, are against any increase in OPEC production. Iranian OPEC representative Hussein Kazempour Ardebili told Bloomberg, if the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Russia want to increase production, this requires unanimity. If the two want to act alone, that's a breach of the cooperation agreement. So what basically he said is, we don't want to increase our output because we agreed to a cooperative deal to the end of 2018. If you guys want to do it, you're doing it, but you're breaching the agreement. So I think this is kind of where we're at. If Saudi Arabia and Russia want to increase production, it sounds like the other OPEC members saying, all right, that's a breach of contract. We're going to flood the market with our supply. So downside in oil will probably be the right side through this meeting unless they announce no changes. Then we got a big rally coming. So that meeting is this Friday. There's going to be a lot of volatility in oil leading up to that. These foreign ministers in oil markets and energy ministers in these oil nations are going to definitely have stuff to say leading into this meeting. And they're going to be jawboning the price of oil. That's what OPEC does. So stay tuned, the ear to the wire, eyes to the news, because every little update is going to have the ability to move oil massive. There's going to be a lot of volatility this week. In fact, I'm going to say oil is going to be the asset of the week to trade. I'm going to go out and just say it flat out right now. There's going to be a lot of opportunity. Cryptocurrencies are not scalable and likely to suffer a breakdown in trust and efficiency the greater the number of people using them. This is a statement made by basically it's like the central bank of central banks. It's the Bank for International Settlements, BIS. They also said not only does this call into question the finality of individual payments, it also means that a cryptocurrency can simply stop functioning, resulting in complete loss of value. Warned the central bank of central banks. Yeah, that's true, but the same can be said for the US dollar, right? If people lose confidence in a system or a currency, that it's very obvious there's going to be a complete loss of value. But the same could be said for all assets, equities, any stock company. If they lose confidence that it's going to drop to zero, the US dollar, everything. So it's a little bit of an empty statement. Yeah, there is some risks, etc. But I think cryptocurrencies right now are in a bit of a bearish move lower. If we break 6,000, you guys watch out. We're going to probably get down to mid 4,000 and pretty steeply. There's a lot of sell stops below. So I'm not saying I endorse that statement. I'm saying this is news. If we break 6,000, I think sell stops are coming out, and then we can start looking for some more long-term opportunities. For the short term, I think you got to stay on the downside on cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. I'm seeing volume coming out on the sell side, and that's worrisome. So there you guys have it. Watch oil today. No real big news. And listen to any trade talk updates. That's going to be what kind of pushes the market back and forth. Manage your risk today. Trade like a trade pro. Options and futures expiry happened last Friday. So the Monday after that tends to be a little bit of a slower day. So expect some more range bound movement today. And we're going to see what the bulls have off the open. They're going to try to catch up and erase some of these losses overnight, but will they be able to do it or not? That's what we're trying to answer. All right, I'm a little bit bearish for today's session, so I'm going to be selling rallies to start, and we'll see where that takes us from there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have yourselves a wonderful Monday. See you tomorrow at 9 a.m. for another edition of the Morning Market Update. Peace, says Marky. I'm just a messenger. He didn't even say peace. He flashed them. 2 on. That means you want to get long 2 contracts, Marky. Pit session, 2 contracts. You want to get them? 2. All right, guys. See you later. Victorio's not even responsive. Did we check his pulse, guys? Yeah, thanks, Marky. All right, YouTube. Take care. Have a good day.